Hi, welcome to Wisdom of Photography. I'm Shmuel Diamond. I wanted to share with you something this week that I learned from one of my children. A very important lesson indeed. The idea of how things tick up. One of my children, he was very tired, so don't get me wrong, it was catalysed for sure from one of my younger children. It was catalysed for sure by the fact that he was very tired. But he let me in hysterical child tired talk about how unfair things were, that his two older brothers, who are very strong strong personalities, get everything and he doesn't, because he's a much more easygoing, relaxed kind of, however it turns out, uncool kind of person. And he let me in on how unfair things were. And I realised, and he didn't even have to keep speaking, I started thinking about, he only mentioned a couple of things, 3 or 4 things, and I realised I started thinking about how unfair things really were. And thank God we realised that this had to change, and we really made a big deal to change things around. I'll let you know how that goes, but it looks like it's made a big difference. The point is, things build up. Small little occurrences are noted, and although we might move forward and forget about them, the other person will and can hold on to these little these small, seemingly insignificant occurrences by themselves in their own right. However, as they build up and up and up and up and up, they turn the person's perspective into this kind of perspective, and he starts or she starts to see how unfair everything is. I'll give you another example. A wedding that maybe we'll all be able to relate to is a father. It was during the family pictures, and a father was on his iPhone doing his Zachin, doing his thing with his iPhone. And it was during the family pictures, and the kid turned around. The kid was 22 years old. The groom was 22 years old, and he turned around to the father and said, "Dad, please, can you put your phone away?" And the dad's response was, "I'm just giving directions to somebody." And that's a very, it's a very noble reason to be using your telephone. And at that point, the kid broke. He cracked, and everyone who saw was very much affected. You could see his heart just cracked, and he said, "Dad, please." He didn't cry, but you could hear he was that close to crying. "Dad, please put your phone away, please." And everyone just realised, wow, this kid has got all of these years of his father constantly saying, one second, wait, 1 minute, one more minute, just 1 second. And each one of those occurrences, well, it's nothing in its own right, but it ticks up and up and up and up and up. So I'm just, as a word of warning to myself, along with everybody here, we should be very aware of, within these relationships, whether it's with clients or with children or with spouses or with friends or with parents or with whoever, brothers and sisters, or any person we have a relationship with, we should be very careful and pay absolute attention to these small little things ticking up and up and up and up and up. It works also to the good, don't get me wrong, but we have to be ultra careful for these negative little things that happen all the time that we forget about immediately, that are remembered by the other person. And usually, unfortunately, the way it comes to the surface is too late, when all of these real little things have ticked up and the person cracks or explodes or breaks or whatever it is. So look, we should be saved from these things, and we should be aware, please God, of how relationships are running, and be able to adjust things in the way that our relationship should be healthy and enjoyable. And okay, thank you. Please subscribe, and all the best.